All right, so number 9 on the non-calculator portion is looking at using the discriminant to find the following. What are the number of real solutions that I will have? Find all the solutions, then using the quadratic formula. So again, some people will use this, a lot of people won't. I think it's very beneficial because it saves you time, and if you're good at it with speed, you're going to do it anyway. The discriminant test is the piece underneath the square root of the quadratic formula. So b squared minus 4ac all over 2a is the quadratic formula, and this piece is the discriminant test that we're going to see how many answers am I going to have and what kind of answers are they. Okay, what's a? Negative 4. What's b? Negative 8. Good job, because you have to first set this equal to 0 and then interpret a, b, and c. Okay, hold up. Alright, so getting back, we do have to set it equal to 0, then we list a, b, and c. In this form, b would be negative 8 and c would be negative 4. Alright, so the question was just now asked, what if we moved everything to the right? Well, we would have a positive 4x squared, a positive 8x, and a positive 4. So that would change this to a positive 4, a positive 8, and a positive 4. It will still work, nonetheless, when you put it in quadratic form. Okay, everything still works. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use this piece that we started with. But first, let's use the discriminant test to see how many answers are we going to have and what kind of answers are we looking for. So b squared minus 4ac. Please don't forget those parentheses. Okay, especially because there's a lot of mistakes that occur. That one right there in front of the negative, so it includes it as a negative 8 squared. So 8 squared becomes a 64 positive. And these three negatives over here will multiply to stay negative. And all it is 4 times 4 times 4. So negative 4 times a negative 4 times another negative 4 is a negative 64. Okay? So 64 minus 64, we get 0. So if we have 0, remember, if it's positive, you're going to have 2 real solutions. You'll have 2x intercepts. If it's equal to 0, you're going to have one double root where it bounces off. But if it's negative, you will never cross the x-axis. You'll have 2 imaginary solutions, still 2 answers, but they have eyes in them. So we're going to look at something that looks like this. So basically, it's the same answer shown twice. Okay? So let's use the quadratic formula now to solve for that answer. Well, the good thing is that when I do the discriminant test, I already have this piece. What is it? 0. We just figured all that out. So negative b plus or minus the square root of 0 over 2 times a. Square root of 0 is still 0, so we don't even need that. So it's like 8 plus or minus 0 over negative 8. Okay, we don't need the 0. So all it is, if I were to break this up just so that you could see, what's this right here, guys? 0. It isn't even needed. So my answer is going to be what? Negative 1. So x is negative 1. You don't have to write it twice. Okay, you can if you want, but you don't have to. But this means it's a double root. That's your only answer, because this graph would bounce at negative 1. Okay, that's where it's existing, because the equation would look like this. 8 plus 1. Because everything in parentheses is the opposite. So we would do a horizontal shift 1 unit to the left. Okay?
If we were writing like the answer, we'd have to put like negative 1, 0, right? Oh wait. Yeah, like you'd have to put negative 1, 0 to the y because it's on the x.
Negative 1, 0. Oh, so this says find all the solutions. So this, you don't have to do negative 1, 0 like an xy point. The solutions for this It's just x is equal to a negative 1.
Oh, okay.
The solutions to a system of equations, which will be on the test, those include needing the y value. But this is only talking about the x. Now, because this 4 existed over here, as far as if you were to continue writing, there would be a 4 in front, because it's not just a up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. It's up 4 over 1. You see what I'm saying?
So if it's ever talking about solutions for the x, you put x equals.
X equals.
Even if it's 2,
Perfect.
that. Okay.
Yep, x equals and list all your solutions. Any other questions on this? Alright,